just want to make sure they get. Yep, yeah, you're good. Go ahead and read those.
All right. So while we were on our setup time, we got 2 more donations in. Oh, 3 more. I missed one. I apologize. We had $5 from Anonymous. Ed for OA. We had a $50 donation from Divebuster. Just says Mr. Nug. And then we have $104.20 from McNuggies420. My father, inventor of the spaghetti squash bong, would not be pleased to see this. Mr. Nug. So, that puts Mr. Nug in the lead. $186 for Ed to $304.40 for Mr. Nug. So if someone wants to drop $138, then Mr. Nug is going to take it.
That is insane. You guys are amazing.
Yes, thank you all very much for your generous donations. Going to Doctors Without Borders.
Right, and in all fairness, we're having fun here, but you guys are raising money for a good cause there in DWB. So, with that in mind, it does look like we are set up.
Yes.
All right, let me refresh one more time. See if we got any last minute ones.
The last second refresh.
We got nada.
Nada. So it's Mr. Nug.
We're cutting it off,
Nug.
right?
Yep.
Mr. Nug.
Mr. Nug it is.
Setting up with Mr. Nug.
Alright.
Now hold on just a second. Let me verify that audio is all. Yeah. We're good to go.
Okay. I'm gonna do a quick hard reset to set up my RNG. And then I give the countdown. We good to go?
Yes.
Okay. I want to cut off the bid war between Dimitri and Ricky after I finish Dungeon 1.
Okay.
I'll
So
let you guys know.
there is still another. Yeah. So we had the file name here as one of the bids, but that is over. So now you guys can donate for which animal companion you want Sttaner to use, and you have until the end of Dungeon 1 to do that. So either Ricky or Dimitri, right?
Yes.
It's about 15 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll start the run and let you guys kind of go at it with the bids there.
Alright. So I give a countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. So yeah, this is Oracle of Ages. Basically RNG the game.
Yes, that's pretty much it. Yeah, I mean, really, you're rolling the dice the entire time.
Yeah,
You
this
get the gambler going around.
like playing
really,
a slot machine.
So, there's a whole bunch of story stuff that's happening here at the start. Something
Yo,
about
the God Pixel.
Evil and Zelda and something else. Doesn't matter. What's important right now is that you donate for Dimitri.
Yes.
Right now.
Please.
The stories are wrong. We do not want Ricky. Ricky is slow. He's horrible. Please donate for Dimitri.
So what I need to do right here is just talk to each guy. And of course I got the stupid glitch where I talked to the bot twice.
For those of you curious, Ricky is leading Dimitri $85.20 to $50, so he's $35 behind.
So yeah, there's nothing much happening at the beginning. It's just basically just a 5-minute cutscene where I mash through the text.
The game is notoriously slow for starting up. Stanner's not even gonna get to the first dungeon until 10 minutes in. It's just very well, you have to reset this game. It's soul crushing.
Yeah, if you screw up something in the beginning and you want to reset, you have to go through all this again.
So, while all that is happening, I'm gonna explain a bit about how RNG works in this game, which is going to be very important very soon.
Yeah.
So you saw Stanner at the beginning hard reset the game. there's a very specific reason for that, and that is that by hard resetting, he guarantees himself a specific RNG seed. And the way RNG is calculated in this game is by a mathematical formula. We know the formula, we've derived it, other people in the community have derived it. So we know how it works, and we know what fuels it, which is the actions that Stanner takes. Not only that, but the actions that enemies or NPCs take as well. So unlike normal, like other games that have their RNG change based on frames or a universal timer, the Oracle games, that's based on your action. So if Link is actually standing still, nothing happens. But if he slashes his sword, for instance, that will change the RNG. If an enemy moves on the screen in some way, it changes the RNG. If you dig a hole, that changes the RNG.
Yes.
So on and so forth.
So yeah, what I'm going to do is basically to set up my RNG. I'm going to swing my sword a couple times in certain spots, or move like in a precise way to get the RNG how I want it to be.
Mm-hmm. And because we always start from the same seed on the hard reset, we know exactly the outcomes that are gonna come forth. So Stanner's gonna be able to get a lot of stuff really easily, and it's gonna seem like magic, pretty much.
So yeah, because I hard reset at the start of the game, I'm still manipulating the RNG right now. So I'm still on the RNG seed I want.
Mm-hmm. He's only mashed text so far, so he hasn't done any actions.
So I
That's
screen
awesome.
transitioned, I slashed my sword, I cut the bush, and that advanced the RNG.
Mm-hmm. Everything he's doing right now is very specific. If he screws up even a little, it's just gonna throw off the calculations.
So and here is my beloved waifu tree. Isn't she cute?
Time for a donation real quick.
Yes, go ahead.
We have $10 from Tonic. Personally moved by the inspirational father nug, Dimitri the Dabongo.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
It was really hard for me to say that with a straight face. Thank you, Tonic, for those enlightening words.
So yeah, now I need to go to the Black Tower, get the shovel to progress with the game. So there's a cutscene starting soon where there can be lightning strikes, and I don't want any of that lightning strikes, and I won't get them because I'm on a specific RNG seed. But I want the RNG to advance a little bit, but not too fast, so I'm gonna slash my sword.
Yeah, we want to control it. When the lightning strikes in the cutscene, it actually like advances the RNG hundreds of times. It's even worse if it does it twice.
So right now, if I slash my sword even once, I screw up my RNG. So as I exit this area now, the first tile I will dig up is gonna be 100 rupees. There it is.
Very nice. So we need these 100 rupees at the very beginning of the game for a very important purchase. Oh wait, we don't do that anymore, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we don't use gacha seeds anymore. But they're still useful.
Still on the old route.
Yeah. I need rupees to play minigames later on in the game.
Yes, he still needs a lot of money. This game, in older iterations of the route, needed hundreds and hundreds of rupees. It was insane, really.
So I just go into the pit here to save some time backtracking.
We have two more donations that just rolled in. We have 2521 from Mashy. Let's make this a bid war. This is for Dimitri. Also, I'm not a complete troll. I still want you to go fast.
Thank you,
$10
Mashy.
from JRTA3. I mean, I can't one up Tonic's comment, Dimitri. So, that actually puts Dimitri in the lead by
yes.
$10.01.
Yeah, that's what I want to hear.
Yes, that makes me really happy.
Who would have guessed that Oracle of Ages would be such a bid war game? The file name, the companion. We've raised over almost $750 off of those two alone.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That's pretty nuts. I wouldn't have thought they'd be that high.
And now people will see me later on in the game fail a trick a couple of times.
Nah, dude, it'll be fun. Don't worry about it.
So, I will get the seed satchel from the tree, and I want it to spawn on the left. Because of a trick at the end of the game, which is really important.
This is like a very minute thing, you would think, but for some reason the game stores whether the seed bag you just got fell on the left or right of the tree. It stores that in memory for, I don't know, some reason.
Okay, no drops from the trees. So I actually need 220 rupees to finish the game in the fastest way. So I'm hoping for 20 rupees from enemy drops.
It's fairly reasonable to expect 20 rupees just normally playing the game. And even then, there are certain chests that Sttaner can pick up in an absolute emergency.
Yeah.
So you'll see here that Stanner's gonna void warp back to the staircase. We do that a lot here in the beginning, just because it's faster than walking all the way back to the staircase or door of a room we're in. However, it does pose a problem that it drains our life, so it can get pretty dangerous if we don't get heart drops.
Okay, now I'm gonna enter Dungeon 1, which is pretty straightforward, but it is really RNG heavy.
Dungeon 1 is very simple. It's not very dangerous normally, but if you are like void warping everywhere and you're at half a heart and suddenly a key pops up at you, it can be bad.
This RNG. Yeah, that ghost can spawn everywhere, and if he goes into the corners, it's especially bad because you can't reach him. But there's a small skip in this dungeon too. It's a really minor skip, like it saves like 2 or 3 seconds. So yeah, push the blocks here, press both buttons. I like to slash this bush here for drops, but I didn't get any.
Yeah, this is a very complex puzzle, as you can tell. If you're not aware of the Oracle games, then you know there's a Seasons version and an Ages version. Ages is more the puzzly, game, while Seasons is more focused on action and fighting. So you can see a lot of bosses that we do fight in this run are gimmick bosses. They have like some sort of catch to them.
Really good mini boss.
Yeah, that's really good. So that boss is one of the few that you actually just straight up fight with your sword. But he does have the gimmick of the smaller ghosts around him. That if they touch you, you're disabled. You can't use your items. And then he can just run into you and damage you. So what Sttaner did was he moved slightly to the right when he entered to ensure that he did not get grabbed by one of those ghosts.
So in here we get the power bracelets, and I'm gonna soft reset the game. Which won't reset my RNG.
He does it just to get to the beginning of the dungeon more quickly than walking all the way back. We do it a couple times in this run, where we just save and quit to move back to the beginning of the dungeon and use the warp point.
Okay, coming up is the Dungeon 1 boss. Which has a quick kill, hopefully I get it. Okay, nope.
Oh, that's rough.
It's okay. I didn't want to die, so I didn't risk it.
Oh yeah, you run half a heart. Okay. So we can cut off the animal donations
Yes. We can cut off the bit war, please.
Alright, let's refresh this one last time. And we are set. Looks like you'll be using Dimitri the Friendly Dodongo.
Nice, that's really good.
now. So, unfortunately, Sttaner did not get the quick kill on Pumpkinhead there. What normally happens in speedruns is that you slash the main ghost body, so the pumpkin drops. You're able to pick it up and move the tiny ghost to a wall. And if you time your slash and your throw just right, the pumpkin head, when it hits the ghost, will hit it twice actually, because it's up against the wall, and kill it in one cycle.
I'm gonna enter and exit the shop just to set my spawn point when I save and quit later. Now we're going into the forest and play a little bit of hide and seek with the fairies.
Right, yeah, everyone's favorite game. How save and quits work is that the game pushes you back to the last building that you exited or entered. If you're in the overworld. If you're in the dungeon, you just go back to the beginning of the dungeon.
I had bad RNG there. If I manage to get the rock on my head all the way through here, I save 1 frame.
Yeah, unfortunately, moblins can spawn your way and just like push you around.
So the hide and seek section is always the same. They always hide in the same spots. So if I move exactly the same every time, I will find them pretty quickly.
I think casual players were probably very confused about this because it constantly reshuffles itself. It reshuffles itself in the same way each time. So if you move up a screen and down screen, the same thing always happens. So since it's set, we know exactly the shortest path to solving the fairy puzzle. Oh, you destroyed Dungeon 2. Way to go.
Yeah, rip Dungeon 2.
Well, that's Dungeon 2 skip for you. We just destroy it and...
Streamer, why don't you destroy all the dungeons so you don't have to do them?
Good idea. Maybe in Breath of the Wild you can do that. So now I hard reset the game to reset my RNG. Now I'm digging for a green rupee, which there it is. I'm gonna do a pirouette here dig one time, get another 100 rupees.
It's magic.
It is magic. And here we got the Harp of Ages, and Nairu's gonna teach us a song. Also, Nairu's the best waifu.
I agree. Although Din is pretty good too.
Yeah, now we have some more cutscenes until Dungeon 2.
So the reason the Sttaner was able to get 100 rupees so quickly from that was because screen transitions actually shuffle the RNG. Well, not shuffle because it's always a set way, but they change the RNG like 255 times every time you transition the screen. So if you know the number of screens you have to get to, move between to get the right seat, then you'll always get the same result.
Okay, because my RNG is still manipulated, this part is always the same. The enemies move exactly how I want them to move.
So, Sttaner here is just moving through the woods. He's actually going to find some mystery seeds for the possessed Queen Ambi.
No, she's not possessed.
No, dude?
Nairu's possessed, and
Oh, yes. Alright.
Queen Ambi is like, oh, if I want to see my husband again, I need to do what Nairu says.
Alright, she's just influenced.
Yeah, she's just influenced by the possessed Nairu.
So anyway, Sttaner there grabbed the mystery seeds. We only need one because the story is going to take them away from us in an instant here. So we just grab it as quickly as possible and leave the screen.
So there's a glitch in this cutscene, which I'll try to go for. It is a one-frame trick. I can pull out a bomb or slash my sword after I get the bombs from the guard here. So while I leave the screen, the bomb will explode. Let's see if I can get it. I need to mash really fast. Ah, didn't get it either. Rip.
It's alright. We're gonna leave her pallets in peace instead of leaving explosives.
I mean, she handed, like, bombs to a kid. But what most people don't know is that the Link in the Oracle games is the same as the Link in A Link to the Past.
That's true, yeah. Zelda timeline.
Zelda timeline. So now that I have the bombs, I can enter the Dungeon 2. I'm hoping for a maple spawn here, and I got it, which will save a little bit of time later on. Maple is the witch who flies around and then tries to bump into you. Basically like the thieves in A Link to the Past. Shoutouts to Scorpion Man for that trick.
It's a really cool trick. Nice quick room. So normally you're supposed to use this shield to flip over those spinies. but instead we use the shovel just to dig at the ground when they're charging at us, and it flips them just the same. We never get the shield in this run. It's just takes up space in the menu.
Okay, I'm gonna soft reset here to not backtrack, just save some time. Gonna pump open this hole here. And now for some 2D sections.
This underground section in particular can be pretty dangerous if you get unlucky with the keys.
And you can never make the first cycle. You need to wait every time.
It's also possible for the keys to like bump you in a way where you hit the thwomp and you get thrown into the hole, and then you have to spawn again and wait for the thwomp, and it's just terrible. But luckily, none of that happened. Sttaner got through it really well.
Good RNG on the snakes.
You actually have to kill all the snakes in that room to be able to push that block. There's no indicator that you have to do that. You just have to like figure out the puzzle, so to speak.
So coming up is the Dungeon 2 miniboss. It has the free cycle, which I will be going for. But it is really like precise. So hopefully we'll get it. And it is also RNG based. Why not?
Boss is not that hard though. It's just sometimes you can flap a little more. Normally you're supposed to fight him over in the yellowish area.
Bad RNG.
That's what you would normally do. And whenever he slams down to the ground, it creates a hole you can fall into. But as long as you stand on the blue area, he cannot destroy those tiles. So it's a free fight. Alright, nice kill, dude.
Oh, this guy is going to snipe me. Okay, never mind. So now I will come to a nice old trick. My favorite trick in the game, called the Dungeon 2 skip. I'm gonna grab the feather and hard reset save and crit out of here, and I'm gonna leave Dungeon 2. I am not going to finish it.
And we don't need to do any more Dungeon 2, that's it. We just got the feather, we're tired of it, don't want to do it anymore.
So, coming up is a trick we call text warping, but especially this one we call toilet warp. It is.
It's a very fast trick, but there's a lot of explanation that needs to go behind it. And a lot of stuff is about to happen really quickly, so I hope you're ready to keep up. So, what text warping is that when a text box spawns at the same time that you leave an area, either a building or a cave, the game gets confused, doesn't know what to do with you. Normally, when you leave a building or cave, it takes you from the interior map, which has all the caves and rooms on the same map, there's one there, and then puts you into the overworld. But what happens when you spawn the text box at the same frame is that instead of moving you out from the interior to the outside, it moves you down in this case. So you went so Sttaner went down on the interior map instead of going out. I'm gonna shut up.
Oh my god! So close, dude. Missed it by one frame, dude. It's okay. What I'm attempting right now is the Dungeon 2 skip. It is a double frame perfect bomb boost into damage boost, which is also subpixel perfect.
Yes, it is all those things. It actually is. Like, he's just not saying it to seem impressive. That's actually the trick.
No, that's too early.
Okay, so what he's trying to do is throw the bomb on a precise frame, on the same frame that the slime, the Zol, is jumping across the pit towards him. So he gets boosted by the bomb when he jumps. It moves him a little bit more. It moves him a little more to the right, and then when he hits the Zol, he gets damage boost even more to the right, allowing him to clear this gap that he wouldn't normally be able to.
Nope, that's the wrong bomb frame. I'm gonna give it a couple more tries.
Sorry, dude, you got this. You can do it. This is it.
This is it, dude. I feel it. Come on. Okay. And the problem with this trick is you can't just buffer frame by frame. It is like impossible. It's just a guessing game if you get the right frames or not. You have to be lucky to hit the frames.
You have to see the frames.
2, 3, 4. I can't believe I did 2 frame perfect buffers and then I missed it. I'm gonna give it 2 more tries. And this actually saves over almost 10 minutes of the run compared to just finishing Dungeon 2. I got it.
Whew, alright, we're in.
Ah, Jesus.
Easy trick.
First try every time.
First try, every time, easiest game of his life.
Yep.
Alright, so, what has just happened? Stanner has now moved into the area for Dungeon 5. This area is very important because it gives us the most vital item to the speedrun, Pegasus Seeds. Pegasus Seeds not only allow him to increase his movement, but it allows him to perform even longer jumps than you just saw him perform just now. It also allows him to kind of cheat the game's programming. He's able to get the Seed Satchel upgrade immediately when he talks to Tingle. Normally, you only have access to 2 seeds when you get the Tingle the first time. He tells you, oh, when you get 3rd seed, come back and see me. But because we have 3 seeds immediately, we can get the upgrade and be able to hold 50 Pegasus seeds, allowing you to boost through a lot more screens than you normally would with, obviously, with just 20. So this is the Great Moblin fight. It's very Zelda-esque, where you're throwing his attacks back at him.
Yeah, I have to hit him 6 times and then he dies. No, he technically doesn't die, but all his bombs on the background explode and his castle vanishes.
Yeah, you just destroy his habitat, his home.
Yeah.
That's it. You leave him homeless. So he's trying very specifically to throw the bomb back at him in the middle, because if you throw it to the side, he'll move to the side and waste time. But also, he's able to predict where the smaller bombs are thrown, because the moblins always throw at where you were at a specific time. So as long as you move after that, you're safe.
Yeah. So normally you would do a side quest after Dungeon 2 to get the rope. Or someone tells you where the rope is, it's in the graveyard, and then you need to save Moosh, kill some ghosts, but it all wastes some time. But we can skip all this if I do a trick called the Grave Jump.
Mm-hmm. So, if you were wondering why Mooch was not one of the available animals to be bid on for this run, it's because we literally cannot use him. Because we use this boosted jump, we're completely skipping his initial request thing.
Come on. It's the nurse, dude.
Alright, you're fine, don't worry about it. So we skip his initial quest thing here.
Unbelievable. I have to actually die here right here, or else I can't do the trick.
He does need the health to be boosted.
Yeah, I actually need half a heart to do the trick. I'm gonna say
just wanted to say too, fun little fact. So we're within $1,000 of the amount we raised for JRTA2. So that's kind of our next milestone, I guess, if you want to think of it that way. Our JRTA2 total was $5,508. So we have a little less than 1,000 to go to match that.
Are you serious? Okay, last bump and then I have to soft reset. Are you serious?
It's unfortunate.
That's
This trick, like, it seems simple enough, but it's still, like, it's a really hard jump.
yeah, I died
It's a lot
there
of precision.
to get my health back.
You do have to do it on a specific frame just to be able to make the jump. Especially because you're, like, shifting direction in the middle of it. It's not just a straight line. And the way that pits work in this game is that even if you're, like, it seems like you're on the solid part of land, the hole will suck you into the void.
There we go. Finally, dude.
Alright, in there. So now we're just gonna go through, do some simple platforming to get the flippers and the rope to advance the story and to be able to swim. But more on why we couldn't use Moosh. Because we skip him for getting into this area, normally you're supposed to talk to him, save him, use him to glide over those many holes. When you go to talk to him later in the run, he just freezes your game. It's soft locked. You can't do anything about it. You're like, that's it. You're dead.
Yeah,
So-
you can't interact in any way with Moosh right here. He's just dead. He's just there,
Mhm.
looking really sad.
He's like literally a nuclear bomb there right beside you. And if you touch it at all, it's gonna go off and destroy you.
Yeah. Now I need to change the time, bring the rope to the raft guy, and he tells us that we need the chart to go onto the raft, or use his raft. Okay, very important that I visit this tree here. I need it for later.
Alright, you gotta give the rope, the raft in here, so he can build a raft for you.
But he wants
Ralph
us to
shows
get a
up.
chart.
Mm-hmm.
And here's Ralph wasting some time.
Is Ralph the most useless Zelda character in the Zelda universe? Chat, what do you think?
That is a good question. So, because for the people who donated for Ricky, I'm gonna use Ricky right now, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm. You are still required to interact with all the animals before you are forced to choose one of them as your partner. Isn't 5, so no. Wow.
Ralph isn't 5, so no. So, yeah, the most annoying sidekick ever has to be the new one from Sun and Moon.
Oh, let's not get into that.
Yeah, let's not get into that.
God, spoilers! I don't get the game until
Yeah,
tomorrow.
I was gonna say, excuse me, some of us are running a marathon this weekend. No spoilers. I'm pissed. I want to play.
Same.
Okay, now we got the...
I pre-ordered it live on stream 2 days ago because I thought I'd already done it and was wrong.
Nice one, Andy.
So, because we already got like the Pegasus seeds early, we're just gonna get the free satchel upgrade too, on top of the chart which Tingle gives us. And because we have a convenient save and quit point right here, we just save and quit through the time, back to the past and into the south here. Now we can actually
The
use
game
the...
doesn't care if you last entered the building in the past or present, it's gonna send you there.
My face when no pirate curse.
No pirates, dude.
This is not the run.
Alright, now Ages is over. Sttaner is switching over to LADX.
I thought triple. So, in this whiteout, actually, LADX happened, Kappa. No, the true ending of the oracles actually shows that Lynx gets onto your ship and it's the same ship from LA. So the same link from A Link to the Past, Oracles, is the same as the one from Link's Awakening.
It's Zelda lore.
Timeline.
Anyway, he got robbed here by a bunch of criminal lizards, and he has to go around intimidating them back to get his stuff.
Yeah, I actually want my stuff back, so I need to do a bunch of like side quests, do some mini games, plant a tree, harvest the tree, get my seed satchel back, trade the seeds for my items, and so on. This is a really long side quest. But I can just sequence break everything with the glitch I'm going to do soon. But I actually need my bombs for it, so I need the power bracelet for now.
Yeah, casually or even like in a glitchless playthrough of this island is so long and boring. It's like so many minutes of going back and forth. Yeah. The game forces you to get like the bracelet, get one thing, go all the way back to the trade shop, get the feather, and then go all the way to where you were to get another thing, and then you have to. It's just, don't want it.
Okay, time for some magic. Look at the rock in my hands. I really like to point this out. I have the rock from there. I picked it up right there, and it's there again. What's it called? I duplicated it, and that's exactly what I'm going to do here. Okay, that's one. This is a trick we call collection delay. I missed one up. And that's two. So how the trick works is, if I pull a bomb, I mean, normally when you pick up an item, Link holds it above his head, and if he pull a bomb before he holds the other item on top of his head, the item gets duplicated and placed onto the ground, and that's how the trick works, and that's what we call collection delay.
Basically, you can spawn in shovels on command in case you need to dig up the world or something like that. So because he used collection delay, he has both his feather and bracelet at the same time, a lot earlier than he would normally, and he's able to progress through these areas just like straight away, instead of having to go back and forth so many times.
We have time for a donation real quick.
Yes, go ahead.
Oh yeah.
Alright. We have $5 from Sttaner93 with no message. Thank you very much for your donation. If you wanted to go anything, just let me know in the chat.
Nice RNG. Getting trolled by any thingy.
File lever.
I had to fix my menu. Because the menu route, at least for me in this game, is important to know where my cursors, where my items are. It really saves a lot of time. Oh my finger slipped.
Oh, that is like my number one nightmare. I always like pause on the first rock to make sure I can actually make the jump.
My finger slipped. That was embarrassing. That's my favorite menu in the game. Equipping the shovel and de-equipping everything.
So fun, irrelevant fact. When Santa was swimming there in that side section, he was spawning air bubbles. And those air bubbles actually roll the RNG for some reason.
Yes, they do roll the RNG.
So the very act of breathing is gonna mess up any RNG you're trying to do.
Now we're going to enter Dungeon 3, which has like a somewhat... It has the biggest RNG manipulation in the game.
It's one of the longest.
Yeah, it's really long. And if you do a tiny mistake, it's basically screwed. We all do this in order to make a room faster, like easier to clear, because if you don't do the RNG manipulation, the room gets out of hand and you can sit there for like minutes killing all the stuff in there. So after I grab this key from this puzzle right here, I'm gonna hard reset, and then I'm gonna listen to some sword sounds, and so that I know that I'm on the right RNG seed. Okay. Now I need to listen to sword sounds. Okay, we're good. Now everything will move exactly like I want them to. And I have to move accordingly too.
And there's very small rooms for error. It's like tiny. This manipulation is so very precise that you have to move in a very specific way, like even through seemingly empty rooms.
Yeah, let's see if the bunny jumps. Jump so I don't slash my sword.
Like there was nothing in this room here with the bunnies, but how they move is affecting the RNG.
Move precise here too. Now I know I'm on the right track if I get the jumping sound of this guy. And this is like the scariest text box in the game because I can accidentally slash my sword. That's why I take my time a little bit with that text box. Now 2 souls will spawn here. And this room coming up, this hammer, if I move just a little bit wrong, it screws up the total RNG. But I'm good. Now 2 souls will spawn again. And I don't get eaten by these guys. Okay. Slash myself 6 times here to manipulate this room right here. And it can really get out of hand if I don't do the manipulation. They can go everywhere.
Very nice.
So that was the RNG manipulation, just for that one room with the armor statues.
The armor statues are very difficult to deal with because they don't move in a singular line. They can shift direction at any time. It's completely random. So you may think you've gotten them when you've thrown a bomb like in their like path supposedly, but then they're gonna veer to the right or veer down or something, and just totally avoid the bomb.
Okay, no sea drops. I want to kill the Moldoms first, because they're more of an RNG factor in this room. And now we get my favorite item in the game, the seed shooter. Which the name says, it shoots some seeds. And you can, like, angle it in 8 different directions.
Not only that, but seeds that you shoot from the seed shooter will bounce off the wall. If you fire it at an angle, it will go off the wall at the reflective angle.
Yeah, which I'm going to do right here.
Pull off.
The trick shots.
Yeah, you can pull off some nice, sweet trick shots like that.
So yeah, the gimmick in this dungeon is 4 crystals to... I needed to hit 4 crystals in order to get these... What's it called? This stupid machine here.
The spinner.
The spinner, yeah. The spinner to go down the floor. Damage boost. Yes, I got the damage boost. So coming up is the mini-boss of this dungeon, which I'll just dig up and slash it 10 times with my sword.
Again, Aegis is full of gimmick bosses. But once you know the gimmick, they're very easy. And unfortunately, bad RNG with the mole because he like died all the way across the room.
Yo, all these franchisees.
I love the dog.
Okay, so we didn't get the scent seeds from the tree, which we didn't plant.
So you actually do need scent seeds in this route to get a specific key in a later dungeon. However, because we skipped so much of the island itself, we never got scent seeds the way the game expects us to get them. However, the way they designed this dungeon, they never expected us not to get the scent seeds. They had like no idea that you can actually skip them. So those small bushes that look kind of different, whenever you slash at them, they have a high chance of dropping the scent seeds. And even if you've never touched the scent seed tree.
I'm gonna grab safety hearts because I hate this boss. So this boss has a so-called one cycle, which I'm going to attempt. If I manage to land 3 hits in like 2 smaller cycles, I can quick kill this boss without it going... Okay, never mind, I missed it. I said nothing. Before she activates this foreshadow cycle again, so now I have to wait it out. I'm really bad at this boss. Okay, now we are finally done with this dungeon. And now we got to see our boy, the best animal in the game.
Dimitri. Very quickly about that last boss. You cannot directly face her. Whenever you face her, she just goes back into hiding in the shadows. So the whole gimmick is that you bounce seeds off the wall to hit her. And even if you're able to do that, you have to do it in a speedrun sense. In a fast cycle. That's why it's possible to do it in one. But usually it's like 2. If you get unlucky, it's 3, which we unfortunately saw.
Okay, and here he is. There's Dimitri. These showcase want some ember seeds to try out with this fish right here. They actually wanted to eat Dimitri, but we save him. Look at him swim. He's the best.
Can't swim on a kangaroo.
Yeah, you can't swim on a kangaroo. Grabbing some seeds here for later. Then I'm gonna enter the shop and buy Dimitri's flute.
Yes, this is very important. You do not want to forget this. So, at this point in the game, you're supposed to decide between the 3 animal friends that are available to you. If you do nothing and you just proceed onwards into these highlands, the game automatically gives you moosh. If you buy the flute, that Sttaner just did, for 150 rupees, the game gives you Dimitri. If you complete the baseball minigame in the past and you win the flute, then you're able to get Ricky. Ricky was an option in the bid war, so Sttaner would have gone, wasted like 3 minutes trying to get the flute, playing the minigame. Luckily, people like you donated for the faster animal.
Yeah. I would have wasted 3 minutes.
Speaking of donations, we got a 420 donation from Canadar, which says Dank World theme. Thanks, Canadar.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Smoke weed every day.
Okay, now we have this little side quest to find the lost animal in the woods, and it's always the same as well. If you move exactly the same way every time, you will find Dimitri.
Up, down, up.
And hopefully you will always find Dimitri, and not another animal. If you find Moosh, it's a soft lock. You can't complete the game, because you can't interact with him. So it is mandatory to get a flute other than Moosh's.
And this is a primary reason why Dimitri is so much better than the other animals, because you can pick him up and run around using the Pegasus seeds instead of slowly riding him all the way up here. Because if you leave the screen without being on him, then he just like disappears. You have to call him again on your flute.
So yeah, now this little side quest. We need to find all 3 workers, so they can finish the bridge which they are building.
These workers are actually amazing. They can like super jump all the way across the water without any help. So this whole area changes depending on which animal you have. For some reason Dimitri's is like extremely short. It's only 4 screens. And you found all the workers. Well, Moosh and Ricky have like much more to do. They have many more screens, they have lots of holes you have to jump over and cliffs you have to scale, and it's not worth it. You save several minutes by picking Dimitri just from the highlands alone.
Now we have to talk to some people in order to find out what is wrong with their village right here. Because apparently their tuning nut is broken, and we need to go and repair it. Wait, why am I talking to this guy? I can just leave the house. This happens if I'm sleeping. We actually need to just enter the house and we can actually leave, and then we just talk to this guy, and he gives us the broken tuning nut, which we need to go repair.
It doesn't matter which brother you talk to first.
Yeah.
He'll tell you to go to his other brother.
But
So we just go to the one that...
to get to patch to fix the tuning nut, we need to get the second song of the game, the Song of Currents, the Tune of Currents, which lets us go from the past to the present only.
It's not possible to go the other way with the song that we're about to get. Our whole goal in this game is actually to get to the song that can do that,
Yes,
so we can finish the game, basically.
if there was a way to get the third song earlier, this game would have been done in like 10 minutes. No, not really, like 30 minutes.
Nah.
Because you still need the feather and stuff. Okay, now we have the Tune of Currents, and we're gonna save and quit here to get back to the city. And because we're in the past, we can just use the Tune of Currents to get to the prison right here, so we can climb the mountain.
This whole area is like just one giant puzzle, introducing you to the aspects of between currents. So you have to travel back and forth between specific areas to like be able to even scale the mountain or the hills.
Yeah, what I'm just trying to do right here is just don't die. That's my goal right here. It is really easy to die in this section because you don't want to kill the enemies, and it's really hard to get past them without taking damage.
And Stanner is one heart short of what the game expects you to have minimum, because we did not fight the boss in Dungeon 2.
Yes, well, actually I'm at the maximum amount of health I'm going to get this run.
And because the enemies in the later dungeons start doing like more than one full heart of damage, it can get really dangerous. So just grow in some plants here. You know, Mr. Nug is growing his plants.
Yeah, planting is seed of life.
All perfectly normal Zelda things.
Okay, now we're almost done with the climbing the mountain. Now we actually need to climb. Which is pretty annoying sometimes, because if you're going fast, you usually get hit more often, and sometimes you only have like 1 or 1.5 hearts going up this mountain. Unlike in the Link to the Past, we have falling sky cabbages, which can hit you, but they only do half a heart of damage.
I'm triggered right now.
Triggered. I'm gonna
A
grab
neat little
these.
thing he did there was that he used the seat before he tried climbing the cliff face, and it actually kept his Pegasus seat speed all the way up.
So in this minigame, there's actually a glitch I can do. I can just stand here and wait for them to collect and then shove them all in at once. I don't know the exact reason why this works, but maybe because I'm clipped or something.
Yeah, it has to do with like shifting the hitboxes of like you and the enemies or something like that in such a way that it's like you can no longer be touched by them. It's weird, but it's just like so cool. It's my favorite trick.
I'm actually a little bit low on seeds, that's why I'm not using one in this house right here, but I'm gonna reuse one here. Okay, now entering Dungeon 4 has probably my favorite dungeon music in this game. I mean, it is a really great dungeon theme.
It's one of my favorites too.
It is the best in Ages. Actually, Dungeon 8 Ages has the best music. I'm just kidding, Dungeon 4 is the best dungeon, it's my favorite dungeon. But it's actually really hard here to not die.
Again, Stanner is 1 heart short of what the game expects you to have minimum. And not only that, but there's so many areas where you can lose health very quickly. There's a lot of enemies around that are gonna hit you into lava, for example, or just like hit you into another enemy, and the iframes in this game are almost non-existent. So if you get hit into a bad situation, you're gonna take a ton of damage.
What does this mean? There we go. Oh, are you serious? Until that. If you fail this jump even once, you will probably fail it more often. No, actually, really low on health. Which is classic for Dungeon 4.
This is classic, dude. That jump he was trying to do there, it's actually very finicky. It's like a certain pixel you have to jump off and you have to turn direction at the same time. Normally you're supposed to go around the edge of the room and get to the door, but if you make the jump first try, obviously it's a lot faster. Hopefully we're getting some heart drops.
That's okay.
So important to note is that he is in Dungeon 4 currently, and the game expects you to have Pegasus seeds after this dungeon. So everything he's doing here with these jumps and these improvements is not intended for this dungeon.
I thought I made a jump, but it's okay.
It's rough.
That's rough. That can happen.
It might be better to reload, because you're low on hearts and seeds.
Reload? Oh. You're right. You're totally right. You are correct, sir. I'm just gonna reload. Because it's actually the same way I need to go. And I have more hearts. I got wrecked right there, and there was nothing I can do about it. Yeah, good thing I reloaded.
Yeah, this dungeon is really cruel sometimes. Dying in the later half of the first half is really bad, because you have to travel so far back.
Yeah, fire keys do one total heart of damage. But I got stun locked because there are no iframes in this game. Did I say iframes? It is one iframe. It is only one frame you have. The state of not taking damage.
And you still experience knockback, so it's really bad.
Yeah. I take that hard. Okay, now we're there where I died. Nice jump. I'm gonna reset the room because they're all gonna pile up on me.
Okay.
Every time, dude.
Yeah, that Zol is unlucky. He can spawn anywhere in the room, including on the puzzle. So when he does spawn on the puzzle, you gotta deal with him.
Coming up are some ropes, like the snakes, and they can screw me up, like pushing me back onto the minecart or killing me. But I'm just gonna juke them a little bit. Here's a cool trick shot.
Very good, very good. So the thing with that that shot there is that it's normally not possible to do it from where you were standing. You have to jump onto like the moving platform to do it. But if you clip like slightly into the block, you're able to get to an angle where you can hit the switch from solid ground. Nice, very nice.
Okay, here, conveniently, there's a fairy in this box, which I can grab.
The developers knew how difficult this dungeon was going to be, so they kindly gave you a fairy there.
I missed it. I'll try it again. Okay, there we go. It's a little bit faster, not triggering the first, like, color tile. So if you jump a little bit on the edge of the tile, you don't trigger it and change its color. So coming up is the D4 mini-boss. It is a scripted fight, it's basically the same every time if I move exactly the same. But this boss is free.
How he moves is completely reactive to you. So if you move the same way, he moves the same way.
I'm gonna grab these rounds for safety.
Just smash at him.
Now for a little puzzle. There's actually multiple ways to do this. Yeah,
Well,
there
not that one.
are, yeah, not that one.
This is one of the more famous puzzles from ages, the 4 tiles.
Come on, please. Okay, there we go. Oh. Okay, now we're done with Dungeon 4. We're actually going to leave.
Okay,
We are
so
done here.
yes. The only thing that we need to accomplish in Dungeon 4 is getting the dungeon item. Unfortunately, it's like so far in, you have to complete so many rooms, you have to fight the mini-boss. But what he's going to do now is go to Dungeon 5 and collect that dungeon item and leave. And it's going to be very different from what you just saw in Dungeon 4.
Yeah, Dungeon
Because
5
he has to
is
get the
really
key
short.
to unlock it.
Now we actually got the bomb earlier from the other Gorons, which gave us the bomb flower when we beat King Moblin at the beginning of the game. So we get the Dungeon 5 key. And to not like go through the cave, we're just gonna walk up there. And conveniently there's some more seats we can grab.
The game is very much routed around getting your refills on the Pegasus seeds.
Oracle of Ages and Seasons were a sequel to A Link to the Past 2.
The Zelda timeline.
Timeline. Yo, got the
I just thought
diagonal
I had
jump?
to pick it up.
Say again, Golden. What did you say?
Oh, I just had to bring it up, you know.
Okay.
Where
Yes,
do you
of
stand on the
course.
timeline? What are your thoughts?
My timeline? Yeah, Link actually died to Ganondorf in Ocarina of Time. That's my timeline I'm going with. Oh, that's my favorite one, because there's a Link to the Past.
So the only thing that we need to get in this dungeon is the dungeon item. And the only thing stopping us from that is one single key door. So we go straight to the fastest key that we can grab, which is the one right there. And we head straight to the dungeon item.
Puzzle is easy once you know how to do it. And here's the
block puzzle.
dungeon item, Decaying of Somalia. Or Somaria, something.
Samara, yeah.
Yeah, Somaria. And now we're done with Dungeon 5. That's it.
That's it. That's all we need. We're off to the next dungeon. Hey, there's Maple.
So coming up is another text warp. Using this all right here, we can text warp to the Dungeon 6 area. This is actually the same cave I did the D2 skip in.
It's a nice little text warp.
I'm gonna grab some safety, the safety ferry, just because this is a marathon run and I don't want to die in D6.
So what is coming up now is probably the worst section of the game. You now have to do a whole bunch of trading sequences and mini games to be able to access Dungeon 6.
Yeah, who likes so many
Tedious and
games?
slow. It's a lot of going back and forth.
Let's do some dancing.
It involves Goron dancing twice. I hate this game.
Same.
I think now would be a good time to remind everybody that you're watching JRTA3. We are a marathon that raises money to bring Japanese speedrunners to awesome games done quick. And we've succeeded in our goal for this year, so we are bringing both Pure and Suzuri to AGDQ to compete and show off their skills. So the remaining donations we get for the rest of the marathon will go towards Doctors Without Borders. And I guess our kind of next objective is to get to $5,500 because that was the amount we got last year. So we're trying to match that. Let's see, upcoming incentives. Later on tonight, we have Star Wars Jedi Knight. And you can put your money towards the light side or the dark side for which side to play as. Currently, light side has $50. Dark side has just $5. And other than that, there's still looks like file name for LADX. And Final Fantasy VII characters are still up for grabs as well.
Okay. So Stanner completed the dancing. He became a true Goron brother. He's now moving up the mountain to go to some more mini games.
Yeah, I'm going to play the minecart minigame next, which is a favorite game, like the favorite minigame of the Oracle of Ages runner called Disclude. Shoutouts to him, he loves that game.
Shoutouts to when he lost the game, dude.
Yeah, basically there are 12 targets and 2 screens I need to shoot. It's pretty easy and pretty straightforward.
For this single time you have to do this game, the rupees are always in the same position. very important you say no there. You don't want to do it again.
More minigames. Yeah, not even halfway done with them.
So what he got there was the rock brisket. Very tender piece of rock meat. Or something, I don't know. Whatever Gorons eat.
So I'm just standing here until I get the cycle, which is always there. It is always there. There it is. And now I'm just gonna slash the ball down. And hope for not getting snowballs.
This game is actually very easy. You only need 100 points to clear the game. And it's like, unless you're missing every single shot, it's almost impossible to fail.
Also, you need to be careful not to mash your sword too fast, or the ball will just go straight through it, and you will lose some points.
And you got the lava juice for that. Collecting a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, I only needed like one try of 10 tries to get 130 points, and it is pretty much free. It is there every time. A fairy on the top. Now we need to trade the items we won at the minigames for some other items to give other people to get the 2 keys we need.
What's happening here is that in the present we're giving this Goron's and descendant some food. He'll give us the vase. And then we're going back into the past to give his ancestor the vase that passes down to the guy we gave the meat. It's just an endless loop that we created in time.
Now we're gonna play my least favorite minigame. It is the bomb minigame. It is somewhat hard. It's not really hard, it's just annoying to get hit and dodge all the bombs. Sometimes you get hit and it just wastes some time and rupees.
There are some times where the pattern they give you is just...
Yeah, it's just stupid. So I'm hoping for a good pattern.
Just say screw you, and you have to take a bomb to the face.
I need to be careful there. After a while it gets pretty easy.
Generally, if you're running around like this in a circle, you will avoid everything. Generally.
Okay, now that we have the first key, we need to transition times again and talk to the guy in the cave right here, which tells us that the Goron Elder had the other key, which looks exactly like the key I have, but he wants some lava juice for it and gives me a letter of introduction. Nice jump. So one last dance and then we're done with the minigames. I only need to get 6 out of 8. That's one.
So if you're able to recognize the longer patterns, you can purposely fail them to to complete the minigame faster.
Oops. That's free. Four. Two more. I hate this. One more. Okay. Saved it. Oh my god, that was scary.
Boy. So there's the garden dancing in the present and the past. The past one is actually harder. And for the key that you have to get, you have to do the past one.
Well, now we are in Dungeon 6, which is probably the scariest dungeon. There's a lot of enemies like these candles here, which do 1 full heart of damage, which I try to avoid if possible.
And they move really fast and erratic, as you can see. And again, Sttaner is, at this point, 3 hearts short of where he should be.
Yeah, 3 hearts.
So the game is it's not pulling any punches at this point. It expects you to have the health, and if you get caught in a bad area with you have no life items, so you're gonna get hurt a lot.
Okay, I'm just gonna play it safe. Oh, I actually hit that one. That's really sweet. Okay, now the first use of the scent seeds, which lures the enemies into the pit right here. So actually don't have to use a seed and jump over and stuff.
You could if you wanted to. Obviously we're not going to because it's not fast.
Okay, now for my least favorite room in the game. The blue wizrobe room. This guy is the living troll. He just likes to slide me while I'm pushing this block. There he comes. There he is. Going ahead. Blue wizrobe back at it again.
Back at it again, dude. So the blue wizrobe is actually programmed to predict where you're going to be and to materialize in fire there.
Oh no, I got grabbed, no! What did I do? Just kidding, that was intended. I actually want to leave the dungeon.
All he has to do for that part of the game is to blow up the wall.
Yeah, I actually need to blow up the wall right there, or I won't progress in the present.
It's a very cool mechanic of this dungeon, in that there's a past and present version, and the actions that you take in the past one affect the layout in the present version of the dungeon. So that hole he blew up is going to be here in the present. The wall he lowered when he lit the torches, that's going to be here.
Come on, Eclipse, please! My god.
Alright, this is the area that you actually do need the senses, because there's no way to reach those ropes.
Yeah.
There is another key that you could get, but it's much, much slower.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab this safety route right here. Just in case, for wire coming up the Dungeon 6 mini-boss. And these mummies or gyptos, they do 1 full heart of damage, and there's like 2 of them a little bit later on, like 2 screens away, which are in a tiny little space. I need to sling through them, trying to not get hit. Yeah, virus. RG the miniboss. Okay, good damage.
Yeah. So Valir has a couple of attack patterns. Most commonly, he'll circle around you like this, firing his energy shots at you.
Oh my god, he charged at me and I missed the dream.
Dang, dude. So the most favorable outcome or attack is the charge he does. He goes straight at you. Normally when you slash your sword at him, he'll like fly away.
Oh wait, I forgot. I missed that one.
But because the circle movement he always does is predictive, you can throw a bomb where he's gonna be, and it does the same damage as a
Ah, I
slash.
played it so bad.
It's alright. So something that's not present in LADX that is in this game is the concept of height. There's actually height in this game. So you had to throw the bomb there at a certain timing so that its height is the same as the block and it blows up the block.
Okay, now we got the dungeon item, the mermaid suit. Now I can swim faster if I press the directional button the way I want to go. Because I don't swim with A anymore, I just need to press the directional button, and of course I got bad energy. I'm just gonna face tank this. Because I'm gonna get a lot of half refills right now.
Ah, yes, the boss key.
The boss key.
So, this boss key is completely RNG.
It is rigged.
There are two levers you have to pull. One of them will spawn the key, the other one will drop 4 ropes. You have to kill the ropes before you can pull the levers again. So the first time you pull the levers, it will always fail 100%. But after that, it's a 17% chance to be the right pull. Alright, that's a pretty good
Fourth try.
boss key.
That's average. That's above average. That's really good.
You might think it's 50-50, but because it resets each time you pull a lever, it's not going to be the opposite one if you pull the wrong one. It's actually calculated to be 17%, so it can go pretty high in the number of pulls.
That's not even a puzzle, that's just stupid. It is. It is just stupid. I mean, I lost runs to this chest RNG because I stood there, pulled 17 times the lever, and I still don't get it. It's like 2 minutes time wasted. It's actually not an issue that I'm low on health right here. Because I can death warp after I get this key right here, which gives me 3 hearts.
So, because he has the mermaid suit now, he can swim underwater, like in underground sections here. And not only that, but he can use whatever item is on his A button slot.
Yes.
In this case, he has the seed shooter, so he's going to be firing ember seeds underwater to set things on fire.
Okay, I'm gonna grab the key and death warp. Which is basically save and quit, and I get my health back.
It's not a big deal. It's like half a second loss or something like that.
Yeah, it's not that huge of a loss. Because of the intro screen, you need to skip and stuff and select your file. So optimally, you're like half a heart in that room, and then you death warp, then you actually save some time.
Oh yeah, you only have to fall into the void one. That's ideal.
So yeah, I'm manipulating the hands right, left and right.
Okay.
Yeah, I was really scared to softlock right there.
Well, there's a lot of bad things that can happen in that room. Luckily, I give you a fairy here.
Yeah, just a safety ferry. Okay, now for a little annoying puzzle. I need to get these blocks like in these tiles up here. So if I form it like a diamond in a diamond pattern, it's really easy to get them on it. If I do the left and right sides first and then the middle ones, it doesn't really matter.
What you want to do is get a solution in that leaves you in front of the chest at the end.
Yeah. Okay, now we're almost done with Dungeon 6. It is a pretty long dungeon. Another trick shot right here.
Very nice.
I need to switch them around, my items, because Sword on A Master Race.
I agree.
Oh, I missed a quick count. That's not good. And then I missed 2 slashes already.
So the gimmick of this boss is that after a set amount of damage, he'll move from above the water to underneath the water, and then another set of damage, he'll move underneath back up top.
Okay, he needs 2 more hits. Okay, 3. Because this is
It is
a
possible.
marathon, I'm gonna grab the hard container of shame.
It's alright. There's no actual shame.
No, people actually think I didn't do G2 skip. No, if I die to the final boss, it is really hard to recover from that and it takes really long.
Okay, so we've completed dungeon 1, 3, 6, and parts of the rest, whatever. And now we're just gonna go complete the game because we're tired of all these dungeons that the tree's sending us to. There's all these puzzles and enemies in it. Just, oh, please, no more.
Yeah. So, coming up is something we call guard skip. If I place a scent seed at the specific frames, I can skip these and jump over them instead of going through the underwater section. But I still need to go through the underwater section in order to visit the screen. Which is
normally you have to run around the palace courtyard, hitting a bunch of switches, watching a bunch of cutscenes to be able to access this area. The palace guard skip is very precise, and it has a lot to do with not only frames and your positioning, but your timing as well. But it's something you just pick up after doing it a lot.
So yeah,
Sttaner went back underground into the water to visit a specific map tile. And now he's just running through guards.
time for the waifu fight. this is our version of Ganon warps from A Link to the Past, because she can warp around as much as she wants.
And
Stop triggering me.
did you know, Andy, that these
Did
are
you know?
on proximity?
Wait, what was the number again?
37.
Yeah, that was the
37.
third number.
These are actually based on proximity. If Nehru sees you, she'll warp away.
So yeah, we saved Waifu. And now we can actually get the third song, which we need to in order to finish the game in a speedrun. Because we are not going to do Dungeon 7 and 8. So coming up the trick has a high chance, like 50-50, in crashing or not crashing. It is like something with sub-pixels, I don't really know, but this is basically RNG if you get it or not.
Yeah, there's a lot of factors that go into what's going to be happening very soon.
Yeah, it
So
is.
many that Sockfolder himself is probably doesn't know fully what causes the crash.
So probably people will say what the fuck and what happened here and what's going on. I'm just waiting for the reactions right now. It's gonna be hilarious. Might remind you a little bit of A Link to the Past RBO, like when it gets all glitchy. Like the screen is like full of glitchy tiles and stuff.
I'll also start explaining what's about to happen.
Yeah, you can start explaining while I do it.
So, there are tiles in this game that are outside the actual overworld map that you normally traverse through. They're all like screwed up and have weird sprites in them. We call it the X world basically, which is, well, you'll see why very soon. Obviously, you're never supposed to be able to get to them in a normal playthrough, but by using the text warping, we're able to move down in the interior screen into the X world. Now, when we do that, a lot of special things can be triggered in the memory. A lot of our actions have been written to the memory from the very beginning. For example, when the sea satchel fell on the left, that read something into the memory. Visiting certain map tiles was written into the memory. Not visiting certain tiles was also a factor. If we visited certain tiles we didn't want to, they would write some code in the memory that would screw up what we're about to do.
There we go.
Okay, so he's into X World now. He's gonna play the Tune of Ages to warp back into the present. You couldn't do this with just the Tune Occurrence. The Tune Occurrence only goes from present to past. He's moving up through the X world here. He's right now off to the left of the actual overworld map. Now he's going to move up another screen, position himself very specifically on a certain pixel, select the tile that's off the map,
Of course.
and then crash the game.
And then crash the game, because the game hates me.
I wouldn't want it any other way.
So what he was trying to do there was write a certain bit of programming into the game. He's trying to call certain flags that would basically let him warp to a CERN fight.
So yeah, if I get this straight, time is coming up soon. Please, game.
Oh. So
Yeah,
really funky
it
stuff
crashed.
went
I
on
need
that
to
made it
restart
crash.
it real quick. Should be back now. Sorry about
So
that. And like, I had to completely restart.
was this a discovered glitch or found by digging through the code? This was discovered, actually. Scorpion Man, who is a member of our community, he was messing around one day with playing around X-World. We knew how to get into X-World previously by doing like these text warps. We didn't think anything could come off of it, and he was just playing around in it one day, and he managed to do something that Stanner's trying to do right now.
Yeah, the game doesn't want me to finish. This is unlucky. But trust me, it works.
It will work, yeah. This is it.
This is it, dude. Yes, there it is. Okay, time is coming up soon. And we're at the final boss.
So, by doing all that stuff in the X world, he's able to call the flag that transports him to the final Varan fight. And not only that, it corrupts his ring box and gives him like dozens and dozens of rings.
I'm just gonna taunt a bit, but it is time.
You got a 149.40.
Oh, oh my god, bad. Yeah, that was to be expected.
That's pretty good.
Not if it's like 13 minutes above my PB. But still underestimate.
Underestimate.
Yeah,
That's all that matters.
Yep.
I did it.
You beat the game, dude.
GG.
So yeah, I want to plug something a little quick. There's going to be in March, like a bounty race with the Oracle games, Minish Cap and LADX, hosted by Red Camel, if people are interested in that and learning the games and stuff.
Sounds good. Yeah, I know the first one was pretty successful too.
Yeah. It's a classic bounty race Zelda stuff with this game and seasons, which is pretty hype. I made Mr. Nug proud, hopefully. McNuggies tells me
You
so.
did.
I made him proud.
All right, we are at the point where we're gonna switch restreamers. I've been restreaming for a little bit here, so we're gonna switch. Cassius B's gonna take over, thankfully, so I can get some sleep. But I do want to point out too, just before we switch, one of the things that we haven't really been plugging that I would like to draw your attention to, if you will, this event is entirely volunteer driven. And that includes the prizes that we give away too. Those are offered up, out of the generosity of various people. So if you could do us a favor, I know, usually when you get a commercial or something, you don't necessarily follow up on it, but we have in the credits section of our Twitch bio, we have the 3 individuals who have offered prizes for JRTA. And if you could do us a favor and check them out, they have all sorts of different video game items for sale and things like that. So please check them out as a favor to us for the things that they donated to our marathon. And with that, Klonoa is coming up next. So I will bring the stream down here. It'll go down for just a little bit, and it'll be right back up. Stay tuned, everybody.
Alright, good job, Stanner.
Yeah, thank you.
GG.
Thanks for